We are back, and so is Emil Bemstrom. He re-signs with the Columbus Blue Jackets on a 2-year deal with an AAV of $900,000. This is a one-way contract, so if he is sent to the minors, he will still make the same salary and everything like that. This means that there are no more question marks on the Blue Jackets roster in regard to who is going to sign here. You know, Line A was obviously the big one, but there are some guys like Trey Fix-Wolansky, Emil Bemstrom, just some RFAs and some UFAs that were possibly leaving. And now we know who's out, we know who's in. The roster is locked in, at least for now, before they start making moves and maybe trading some people. Emil Bemstrom is one of these guys that it was unsure if he would even make the NHL roster even before the Gaudreau signing, and now that's even more up in the air. If Emil Bemstrom is sticking around on the roster, he's definitely going to be a 13th or 14th forward. He's probably going to see a lot of time in the press box unless he really impresses during camp in the preseason. I imagine him as part of a deal in a trade. I don't think he has enough trade value to be a centerpiece guy in a trade unless you're trading him for like a late round pick or something. He hasn't been in the NHL consistently enough, and even when he was, he hasn't really shown much of a spark besides from his rookie season where he had like 10 goals in a limited amount of time. And ever since then, he's either been hurt or he's coming back from an injury and he's kind of slumping. I mean, if you're Jarmo in the Blue Jackets organization and you're trying to move him, you're probably going to point to his play in Europe a lot. He's done very well for himself on European ice in international events and in European League play. He's done very well there. It just hasn't clicked in the NHL yet. Anyway, I mean, maybe that changes, but it just seems like if Emil Bemstrom is going to reach his full potential and reach the highest heights he can in the NHL, it probably won't be with his Blue Jackets team. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he becomes a contributor in the bottom six, because really, I mean, I don't think that there's room for Emil Bemstrom on the top six on this roster. Oh, voice crack. And I just don't see him getting in the top six in this roster again. He's definitely going to be a bottom six role. If he can be like a third or even fourth line sniper that can add some, a shooting threat there, then maybe that can be nice. But the Blue Jackets have a ton of guys who you could argue, could play on the third or fourth line and flourish there. I don't think Emil Bemstrom fits, but he was a restricted free agent. Nope, nobody else is going to offer sheet him or anything. So you get this deal done. I think that's why it is a 2-year deal, because it might make him a little more tradable, give that team another year of contractual control, and they don't necessarily have to worry about, re-signing him again next offseason. If that's what their plan is, then that 2 years does make sense. However, if he is going to stick around in the organization, if they plan on keeping Bemstrom, I would have thought they were going to only do the 1 year. They don't really seem to be very high on committing to him long term, so that's why I think the 2 years is a little weird, but it does make sense if they're thinking to move him and maybe give the team they're trading him to a little bit of an extra incentive to take him, that they have 2 years of control rather than just the one for the one season. Not going to be a long video because this isn't that big of a news. It's kind of small potatoes, but I think it is worth noting that there are now no more question marks on the Blue Jackets roster. Everybody who's going to be here is here now. Again, they might trade them. They might, move them around somewhere up and down in the minors or whatever. But as far as what's being completed, there's no more question marks on the Blue Jackets roster in that regard. Thank you all again for watching the video. If you liked it and you'd like to see more, please feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think about Emil Bemstrom and the Blue Jackets roster in general in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.